You're listening to Breakfast with Pablo.
Philippa Christian has worked as a nanny for the rich and famous. She joins us on the phone today. Philippa, good morning.
Good morning, Pablo. How are you?
Very good. Now, it's a really unique world that you got involved with, nannying for the rich, the famous. How did it all come about?
It really just came about by complete and utter accident, really. It's something that you can't really plan for or choose to get into. It just sort of happened. I grew up in the same suburb as Shane Warne and a few other local celebrities, and ended up working for them, and then a lot of their friends, and then a lot of their friends were sort of international stars. And I worked in Crown Towers here in Melbourne, where whenever there's an international celebrity flying into the country, they always stay there. So I would look after their children as well, and then I would fly back with them. And then I ended up working in Los Angeles for a long time, and it just kept going and going and going, really.
Was it something that you set out to do, or it just sort of fell in your lap a little bit?
I've always loved children, and I've always loved babysitting and nannying, and I knew that, whatever I did after school, I wanted to work with children. So I did study teaching, and I found that teaching was just not really for me, because you're sort of in a classroom and, the kids go home and you don't really get to know them as well as what you would if you were looking after them every day and living with them and looking after them on the weekends and everything. So I think that I knew I definitely wanted to be a nanny, but I didn't ever expect a nanny on this kind of level.
Now, some of the people that you've nannied for, obviously very high profile. Do you ever get starstruck by them at all?
No, I don't think so, because I've been doing this from such a young age. I haven't really known any better. And when I was really young and I sort of got into it, a lot of the people that I did start working for, I didn't really even realise they were on telly and stuff. So for me, it hasn't really been anything like that. And when you're living with them, you just see them as a friend. You don't really see them as the person on TV. You don't really get time to watch TV as it is anyway when you're working for these kinds of people.
Has it changed your opinions on celebrities at all?
Look, definitely. I think that my personal experience is that people who are portrayed in the media as sort of being not very nice people are usually the nicest ones, and the opposite. People who are portrayed as being fantastic parents, it's usually the opposite again. So I think that, the media can make or break a person for sure. I remember when I first started working for Shane Warne, he was the first high-profile person that I worked for, and I was in his house one day, and I sort of started as his babysitter and then became his full-time nanny. And I remember one night I was cooking in the kitchen, and one of his friends walked into the house who was on television as well, and this man walked up to me and he said to me, "Oh, so who are you?" And I said, "Oh, my name's Philippa, nice to meet you." And he said, "Oh, I know your name's Philippa, but who are you? Like, why are you here?" And by this time, Shane had sort of walked up to us, and I just looked at Shane and I said, "Oh, would you prefer to call me a babysitter now, or would you prefer to call me a nanny?" And Shane just sort of looked at him and he said, "Oh, I'd prefer to call her one of our best friends."
Oh.
And that's the sort of person he is. He's such a loving, gentle, friendly, he's treated me like family the whole time I worked for him, and I wish people could see that side to him, because he is such a beautiful person and he's a fantastic dad.
Now, your book has just been released, so the feedback has been all positive for them. There's no one that really wanted their stories removed?
No, no, it's been really, really good. And I went into my local shopping centre just yesterday to be able to see it on shelves, and the three bookstores in the shopping centre that I went to said that it was on shelves at 9 a.m. and by 11 a.m. they were all gone. So
wow.
It's going really well, and I'm so pleased. But I think a lot of people sort of think that when a high-profile nanny tells all, or writes a book or writes a magazine article, that it's all going to be negative and horrible, and they're airing their boss's dirty laundry. But I've actually had a really good run. The majority of the people that I have worked for, I've absolutely loved, and I've been so blessed for that, and that's where a lot of these great stories have come from, really. So, of course, the book touches on, marriage breakdowns and scandals and things like that, but there's also a lot of moments in the book that will make you cry and make you laugh, and it's a really good feel-good book, I think.
On your journey of being a nanny and being involved with all these families, do you have a certain favourite moment or most decadent moment when you just sat back and realised, oh my God, this is how these people live?
One weekend, it was a Saturday morning, and I set up a lemonade stand with them just in the gated community, so it wasn't, out on the road or anything. And we were selling these cups of lemonade for 50 cents or $1 or something like that. And someone came past in a very expensive car who was a former James Bond actor, and he bought 2 cups of lemonade and gave the kids a $100 note. And I just thought it just defeated the whole purpose of that exercise.
Wow, if
So,
I had have got that back in the day, I would have been over the moon.
Oh, I don't even think I ever saw a $100 note as a kid.
Yeah, exactly. Something else about being involved with the families, because I've heard that sometimes, and as you mentioned with Shane Moore, and he said that you were just a friend in the family. Is that something that they want you to do? They want you to look naturally part of the family when you go out and you're in social situations. I mean, you're not dressed up as a nanny. So is that really important for the job?
Look, I think in Shane's instance, he's just a friendly person and he just treats everyone like family and friends. That's just his nature. But I think mainly the book is based in Los Angeles and working, in California for all these sort of Hollywood celebrities. That's really what the book's about. But they are very much more like that. A lot of mums want to give off the image that they're a super mum who can win all these Oscar awards and also, be a mum and do it all. And it's quite sad, I think, sometimes, because it makes everyday mums feel inadequate sometimes, because it is a very difficult job to raise a family and a household. And when women are giving off the impression that they can just do it all, it does make some people feel like they're not, what are they doing wrong? So, look, it's definitely true. They do try and make us blend into the family and try to give us the impression that they do it all. And that's probably the main reason, I'd say, for that.
I assume you've worked with a lot of movie stars, and movie stars, especially the males, are incredibly ripped. Now, I always imagine, and I guess I want to make myself feel a whole lot better because my body does not look like that, that they don't spend much time in the gym and it's all just natural gift. What's the truth? Are they spending 5 hours on the treadmill or not?
Yeah, well, they have everything you can think of coming to the house. So personal trainers, and they've got their own gym, and they even have people come to the house to take away bad spirits out of their body, all sorts of crazy things that you just don't hear of, I think.
Well, at least now I've got an excuse as to why I don't have a six-pack.
Classic Gold, today's hits. Spirit.